Hi, everybody. I'm a bit under the weather, so I'm not going to do too much talking today, but I recently picked up this new reverb plugin by Samplicity called Berlin Studio. They've sampled the Teldex stage in Berlin to create this plugin, which essentially allows me to place a relatively dry instrument, either sampled or recorded, into Teldex with a few different sampled microphone positions. I'm not going to go into the details about how it's all done, but this is potentially a game changer for anyone using a lot of orchestral tools samples, which, as you may know, were recorded at Teldex. So now I can hopefully blend in instruments that were recorded up close or in a different stage or studio into my template that's for the most part dominated by orchestral tools samples. So I want to make a few short videos testing out this plugin. I'm not an expert in it. I just got it a few days ago, but I'll be trying some different sample libraries, and maybe at some point I'll try recording an instrument at home. In this first video, I've mocked up a bit of Schubert, so without further ado, here's the excerpt. First, just with the Berlin series sample libraries, so they're all recorded in Teldex. I'm not using the plugin here just yet. I'm using a combination of tree and some spot mics or ORTF mics where available. So now I'm going to replace the oboe and clarinet with the Orchestral Tools Berlin Woodwinds soloist libraries, which were recorded in a dry studio. I think they offer a bit more expressive lyricism than the regular Berlin woodwinds, so anytime you have a woodwind solo in your orchestra piece, these could be useful. Here's what they sound like dry and out of the box. And here's with the Berlin Studio plugin enabled. You can see the settings that I'm using on the interface. Here's what that sounds like with the rest of the orchestra now. So I used to use a few different reverb plugins in combination to try and fit these dry samples into the mix, but I think this is a whole lot easier now, and I think it sounds really great. Okay, just for demonstration, what if you didn't have any of the Berlin woodwind libraries, but maybe you had a few Spitfire winds, let's say from the BBCSO plugin. So here I'm using some close and mid microphone positions for the BBCSO oboe and clarinets with the Berlin Studio plugin enabled. Okay, just a few more quick tests. Let's say you don't love how these violin shorts sound, and maybe you have another library that you prefer. So here's Cinematic Studio Violins 1 and 2 with a combination of the room mics and a bit of spot 1, first without Berlin Studio enabled. here's that same thing with Berlin Studio plugin enabled. You can see with most of these tests, I chose not to use the AB or surround mics. I usually prefer a drier sound anyway, but I plan on experimenting more with those mic positions later on. And here's how it sounds all together with orchestra. Okay, one final test. Just for fun, I changed the violins to the Hans Zimmer strings violins. I actually think they sound really good here as well. Here's the full orchestra with Berlin Studio enabled on the violins. All right, so that's it for this one. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in the next quick test of this plugin, or let me know if you've been using it and what kinds of things you've discovered, maybe some good tips or suggestions. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.